What is up, company gang? I fucking shot this video 4 times in a row already because I'm a dumbass and the camera keeps facing the wrong way, so I'm just gonna make sure that it's facing the right way this time. Give me a second. Okay. Yeah, so anyways, just a little bit of an update since my previous video. Although I said that I'd be more productive and stuff, I guess I haven't really been that much more productive. The only thing is that I've set like a timer for like 1.5 hours on my Nintendo Switch so that it shuts off, and I've set like a screen time timer on my iPhone so that it blocks like all the fucking distracting apps like YouTube and stuff after I use them for an hour, and I've blocked all these apps on my computer as well, so hopefully I'll be a little bit more productive and make more videos or something, more music. And I've made a little bit more music than usual. But anyways, back to the main topic of the video, which is what my parents think about my NEET situation. And well, I guess the answer to that is kind of a trick answer because they really don't think anything of it, and that's because they don't know that I'm NEET. I haven't told them, about this label, or I haven't told them specifically that I'm a NEET. And because if they knew about, I guess, me being quote unquote a NEET, and they knew about the whole label and what that implies, like maybe if they looked it up on YouTube or something, I feel like they would be a lot more worried, and as a consequence, try and pressure me to move out and eventually kick me out of the house and stuff. But they don't know that. They think that this is just a phase for me, and that this is something that I'll grow out of, and that I'm depressed and stuff, and or that I'm mentally ill or something, and that I'll eventually just get over it and get a job eventually. And these things are not entirely untrue, because I don't intend to stay like this forever, and I do get depressed sometimes, but at the same time, I am kind of living life as a degen and not really doing shit, just living as a stereotypical NEET, basically, cooming all day, watching anime, and just being base. But anyways, yeah, so there's that. And hold on, I think I hear. Okay, I think they're not coming down. Anyways, yeah, so there's that. And at the same time, I do sense some worry from them, and this is often in the form of them. I can sometimes see them looking disapprovingly at me, or like I don't know, just being pensive whenever the issue of like work is brought up, or like stuff like that, or they seem kind of like pensive, or like I can feel like a sort of tension basically. Sometimes it's not there, but sometimes it is. And also I can tell that they're quite embarrassed about me being NEET, because on several occasions they've lied about my status. Like they've actually gone ahead and like talked for me and made excuses for me. And it might seem that it's for my well-being, but in reality, if you know anything about Asian culture, it's often involves parents comparing their kids against each other, and oftentimes they've said that I'm like looking for work, or that I'm currently taking a gap year, or these are just various excuses they've given over time, and I guess lies, which I don't really blame them for, and in some ways I'm thankful for them lying, because it saves me from having to explain anything. But yeah, they'll say stuff like, sometimes they even said stuff like, he's going to go to music school, which is because I did express my interest in going to music school to them at one point. So they actually said that, even though they didn't like send me to music school or weren't willing to. But it's just interesting how they said that. But anyways, there's that. And yeah, I don't really blame them for that. And they are embarrassed, but at the same time, they seem to not really care, or they seem to always brush it under the table because of how busy they are. Like, for example, my dad on several occasions has expressed to me that I should be getting a job, that I'm at the age where I should be working or looking for employment and stuff like that. But he, and this was especially true the period right before COVID happened, like the few months before COVID, where he brought it up more and more. But since COVID happened, he hasn't really brought it up. So thank God for COVID. Hope it continues on to 2021 and kills, millions of people, so I don't have to work. But okay, I'm just joking. But anyways, yeah. So yeah, he brought it up several times, and he has expressed that he has a desire for me to work, and I guess most of it is for my well-being, if I'm being honest. So, and more because he believes that's what's best for me, or they believe that's what's best for me as I guess, as being part of the boomer generation, because from their experiences, I guess they were able to, I guess for them, they lived in economic conditions where working the average job, any job, would probably lead to a prosperous life, being able to buy a house and shit. But obviously that's not true nowadays. But I guess that's his logic, at least, that I should get a job at, like, I don't know, even like Subway or some shit, so I can buy a house, which is nonsensical. But anyways, there's that. And but even then, like, he'd bring it up, but then he wouldn't pursue me on it, because well, like, I guess he's too busy, so he kind of just like gets swept under the rug eventually, because like he'd forget about it for a while, and then I basically go back to doing jack shit because I'm a lazy procrastinator. So yeah, and I'm sure it'll probably get brought up more and more when COVID returns. So yeah, fingers crossed. Hope Corona-chan continues to stay in society. And yeah, I'm fucking corny. Anyways, so yeah, there's that. And aside from that, I think there's several reasons why I'm able to live this lifestyle, or why they seem to be okay with me being here as well. And for like a more general reason, from my understanding, there seem to be two types of NEET parents. There's those that want their kids to move out by the time they're 18, and like those tend to be like Western parents, or like I guess like white parents, not to be racist or anything, but they tend to like expect their kids to move out by the time they're 18 and get a job and get a house, rent an apartment, whatever, be independent. And those parents tend to be like hard asses on their kids and treat them like shit and be passive aggressive to try and get them to move out. And then there's parents on the opposite end of the spectrum who essentially are, more like Eastern, I guess, Oriental. No, that's not the right term. It's kind of racist, but like, yeah, just like that. And they essentially kind of, it's more acceptable for kids to live in with their parents. So that's one thing I have going for me as an Asian. And like, yeah, for them. And also there's the other types. It's not just that, it's also the fact that for them, I'm always like perpetually a kid in need of assistance. So because of that, they I think it's like a perspective thing, like them being a lot older and like me being X amount of years younger than them, they always see me as like a 10-year-old forever. And because of that, they see me as like unable to do anything for myself and infantilize me a lot. And say stuff like, oh, you're a growing boy, you should eat more, or do a lot of things for me that I should be doing myself, or stuff like that. And yeah, so they do that stuff. And infantilize me. And as a result of this, maybe it's hard to say whether them doing this is causing me to be a man-child, or me being a man-child is causing them to treat me this way, because it also is partly my fault, because I don't show a lot of initiative and like act like a man. I never bring up the topic of like girls and stuff, because, well, it's super awkward, especially that given that they're like really religious, and it's just really, really awkward. Like, that's just the family dynamic, I guess. And yeah, there's that. And in some ways I'm like a lot of like, as it's kind of similar to like a lot of what a lot of other needs have said on like Reddit. Like it's like they see them as like pets, or like little like pets that to like keep around the house. And my mom has like said on several occasions, oh, how she's proud that I'm always with her, because it shows that I'm like, to have a strong family, whatever that means. Like, but in reality, it's more that she wants me here to like keep me here, I guess, as part of like what's it called? Yeah, as sort of like a pet, basically. And yeah, and also they both each have individual reasons for wanting to keep me here as well. And one is that from my dad's side, it's because my mom is always like a hard ass on him, and treating him like, shouting at him. And in a lot of ways I used to experience that same behavior in the past from her, especially growing up as a kid. And because of that, I can empathize with my dad a lot. And as a result, it's kind of like we almost like trauma bonded a lot at some point. And I would listen to his grievances and we talk about it. And like, so in that sense, I feel like even now, like, he seems to be under a lot of stress from her, and I'm always willing to listen to him. So in that way, like, I feel like he is kind of okay with the idea of me staying here, because, well, I feel like if I leave, he might lose his mind, and, well, I have no one to talk to. So that's kind of dark, but yeah, there's that aspect of it. And the other part of it is that, well, my mom has something known as borderline personality disorder, or BPD, and I'm not going to go into all the details of that, but one key component of it is the fact that these people with BPD have a huge fear of being abandoned by people, and they perceive anything like involving people getting away from them as them abandoning them or cutting all ties. So because of that, in my mom's eyes, me leaving the house and being independent and stuff would essentially be equivalent to me abandoning her and not loving her. Like, for example, she lost her shit when I moved out and was gonna stay in university for my first year, and she tried to guilt trip me into going to a closer university, which wasn't as good, because she said I didn't love her, that I was a bad son, and that like stuff like that, and that I didn't care for her, like I should just, all universities are the same, etc. And so my voice hurts. And there's that aspect of it. And because of that, it's like she'll do anything in her power to keep me here, which kind of plays the whole like pet thing, right? Like keep me as a pet, because in her eyes, it's the only other option for her to not being abandoned. It's like the opposite of being abandoned is like me always being there for her. And she grew up with a really shitty childhood involving her being abandoned by her parents, like not actually abandoned, but like sort of abandoned, which I'll get into maybe in the future. And so it's like I don't hate her for it. I kind of get where she's coming from. After I matured quite a bit, I realized why she was doing why she was doing the things she was. But at the same time, it's like the whole dynamic is that she has BPD, and essentially she'll try and like infantilize me or like control me in a way, like through like various means. But this is just one means, is like coddling me and infantilizing me so that I don't become independent, and I just never become strong enough to face the world on my own. And it's kind of like the idea of the Oedipal mother from the poem Oedipus, or Oedipus, however the fuck you pronounce it. But there's that aspect of it. And also, I guess that I'm not like a complete degen. I sometimes fight with my parents, but it's pretty rare, and it's more so that we're on pretty good terms and not like an asshole. And I'm thankful that they're not assholes to me. Like I lucked out that way for sure. And like it's not like I fucking pee and piss jugs and like take shits and smear it all over the walls and screech like or like some fucking shit like autistic screeching, like, or like smash like punch holes in the wall. Like I don't do that. So I guess that's definitely something I have going for me, and maybe why they haven't kicked me out, and why they're more okay with me, you know, being NEET, even though they don't actually know that I'm a quote unquote NEET. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and sorry for talking so low. Like I don't like talking like this either, because it fucking like damages my vocal cords, because I'm not using them properly and projecting. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to hit the like and subscribe button down below if you did. And this is Comfy NEET signing out.